I'm Ben Gromiko from InterNACHI, and this is an InterNACHI webinar. We do free, live, online webinars. We video record them all, so you can watch them later if you want on YouTube. And I do a lot of the webinars, but sometimes we have special guests, and we do have a special guest. Inspector Media is here, and Daniel and Michaela are here as well. So I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves, and then we'll start talking about social media, all kinds of topics related to getting home inspectors online, getting their presence online, and engaging with potential customers, and adding credibility and value to the conversation and things like that. So who wants to go first? Who's in charge here at Inspector Media?
Yeah, I'd like to think that we're more of a team.
Yeah, good.
We come together. There's parts obviously that you're not going to be good at everything, right? And that's why a team, so Michaela will come to me with if there's any decision-making issues, and I'll do the same with her. So, and obviously when Eric was around, it was the same exact thing. Eric was really good at leaning on his team as well. So Michaela, why don't you start off?
Sure. Well, my name's Michaela. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Inspector Media. So my main things that I do are keep the team running, keep everybody in conversation with each other. I do the majority of customer service, so the client-facing interaction. Post-sales is all me. I just kind of keep things flowing. So that's what I do.
Yeah, and Daniel, what is your role?
So my role is technically VP of operations, management, product development, anything that really, I guess the whole 9 yards. So as of lately, it's been, about product development and, but the biggest part of the job here, to be completely honest with you, is educating home inspectors on, why social media. A lot of guys really seem to have either a not so good opinion of using social media, or struggling with social media or whatnot. So, my background, I was with a company called housevalues.com out of Kirkland, Washington in 2006 that, all day, every day, all I did was just talk to real estate agents about the importance of how everything is moving to the internet. Paper advertisement was dying. It was really, and it's funny, that's 2006, trying to explain to real estate agents that everything is moving to the internet, right? Now here we are in, 2022, and I'm doing the same thing with home inspectors with social media. So, I'm familiar with it, and my job is also running our service specialist, Zach, and we've got a couple other people, Jamie, and just, again, just educating, being there. Also, it doesn't stop just with social media. It's just from A to Z, whether it's Google ads, whether it's how to improve a website. Nick, your brother's been helping out with that as well, giving us notes for improvement on websites, for conversions and stuff like that. So,
okay, so if I was a home inspector and I wanted to know more about social media, I go to the website, right? There's a ton of information on your website. It's inspectormedia.com, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you two are easily accessible, because I think Michaela, was it yesterday or today or somebody, one of our InterNACHI members was looking for a video. They saw a video and they liked it so much that they wanted to buy the video right there and put their logo on it. And so I just included Michaela in an email. Michaela immediately replied back on where to get that video.
So that's awesome.
You're talking about all these things like, what do you put in your social media plan? Obviously, Michaela has a video available that's customized to the company that allows an inspector to put some media, video media online, so that people can play the video and get more information about their company and their services. But what other stuff should an inspector think about putting online and as they're part of the social media package that they do? What other things do you have?
Go ahead, Michaela.
Sure. Okay, so if I was to have a conversation with a client specifically about how they can work together with me in a partnership, as far as I have this conversation with clients relatively often, where I try to stress to them the importance of making their social media reflect who they are as an inspector, as a business owner, as an individual, because I think that a lot of home inspectors just want to kind of avoid the whole thing, which I don't entirely blame them for. I mean, that's what we're here for. But at the same time, it still is necessary to have a level of partnership there, so that we can reflect them as a personality and as a real person. So the thing that I tell clients all the time is, I'm like, please send me pictures, send me videos, send me anything you have that really just reflects who you are, so that I can incorporate that into your content, and so that I can really customize the work that we already do. We apply the professionalism, but I need a little bit of work from you, as far as making it still reflect who you are. I mean, that's, like I said, that's a conversation I have all the time. So the more like legitimate content that you can take, as far as pictures of you on the job, pictures of things that you find, little videos educating homeowners, that all that stuff is fantastic. And even if you're just doing social media yourself, that's the most important thing, is just showing your face and reminding anybody that's looking at your Facebook page, that's looking at, whatever platform you're on, reminding them that you are a real person running this company, doing this thing, just kind of creating that relationship, I guess, within your community.
Yeah. So I have a feeling that, like Daniel said, it's a lot of education. Like inspectors don't know what to do. I think they have a feeling that they should be doing something, but they don't know what to do. And you add that professional plan. So you ask them for some content, like pictures and videos and stuff, and then you make it professional.
Yes.
And where does all this stuff go? Like, is it just YouTube and Facebook, or is it other channels? What do you help me out with?
We use primarily Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google My Business. Those are the 5 platforms that we're actively using right now. We're looking into incorporating other platforms, but that just, that's that product development that we're talking about. But those are the 5 that right now we are, and really those are kind of the most important. Those are the most popular. So if we were to pick a couple that we say, these are our favorite, if you're going to do social media yourself, this is what you need to hit home with. It's Facebook, Google My Business, and LinkedIn.
Okay. So what would I do? Let's say I don't have a Facebook page. What would you guide me through the first steps? Like, what you need to, are you going to create the Facebook page, or should I do it and then tell me what to do? Tell me.
Absolutely.
What are the first
No, that's a
steps?
really good question. And
Good question.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we don't create the platforms for you, and there is a reason for that. We don't ever want clients to feel like there is any chance of us stealing information or keeping anything from them. So it's really important that that first step, like passwords and all that jazz, is done from the inspector themselves. I can absolutely walk you through the process. I do that all the time. I do Zoom calls all day, every day, where I sit and I have them share their screen and I'm like, okay, this is what you need to do, blah, 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 blah. Let's get it taken care of. No worries. But it's mostly a safety factor and a privacy situation, where the less control that I have to have over that beginning parts, the better. That way you can feel more secure in your relationship with us. I can't count the amount of times I've had clients that are like, well, I'm concerned with doing this because I've been burned before. And I'm like, I get it. That's why the more I can do to, I guess, the less information I have to take from you with the onboarding part, the better.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I absolutely walk you through the process. Easy.
I love the passion. I have to say it's great. I mean, because again, she works with inspectors that sometimes you say, okay, what's the address of the website, or what's your email address, and they won't know where to even find that. So I mean, the fact that she's still bubbly like this, because I have those conversations sometimes too. And, you know, and it is what it is. Sometimes we have some really tech savvy guys and sometimes we don't, you know, I mean, you don't have to, in order to work with us, you don't have to be just, you know, technically challenged. We have a lot of guys that come to us because they know it's important and they just, they're buying time essentially from us. So.
Yep. Yep. And what if I don't have a website? Will you help me with a website? Or what if I do have a website? What do you do about websites? You direct people to my website or what?
Yeah, that's a great question. So first off, we do have conversations. So there's a form, first off, that I would definitely recommend. Ben, I think you were part of creating it, is the BizDevelop form, correct? Weren't you part? Okay. So, you know, I highly recommend starting off with that to anybody, because it's going to give you it's going to give you feedback, and it does take a little bit to get that form going. But, you know, there may be certain aspects as you create, or even in multi-inspector firms that are looking to scale, there might be some questions in there that, you know, sparks kind of an idea, and, you know, and it also gives you some feedback as well. But that's bizdevelop.com. But as far as the website's concerned, yeah, we, you know, call it biased. We recommend, you know, InterNACHI certified companies, anyone outside of the home inspection industry. You know, I'm not saying they don't do good work. I just want to make sure that, you know, the ones that we are recommending are certified. There's a reason why they're certified. So we'd rather do fast sites for you. We've been doing that recently. I think I've sent, oh geez, I think I've sent your wife at least 10 in the last, you know, 6 weeks or so. You know, we have another one that we send out to as well. And then, you know, but we don't stop them from getting their social media created. And in fact, to be perfectly honest, I tell guys, the moment you decided to be a home inspector is when you should start those pages. You know, because it gets you familiar. You know, you don't have to come in knowing everything that you need to know, but start those pages, get some, you know, followers, get some people that know this is what you're doing. You know, because again, it's not we're not running a sprint, right? In social media, and this is actually a quote from Eric, you know, this isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. So we recommend.
Yep. So let's say I'm InterNACHI certified, I'm doing home inspections, and I've got a website going. What's next? Michaela's going to ask me for pictures of myself inspecting, and maybe do you want me to do some like selfie videos from the roof and you're going to post them for me, or you're going to help guide me in that direction? What do you want next then?
Yeah. So when myself or my guys get someone started, you know, I really stress this. I say, look, there's two different types of guys that work with us. Okay. You know, either one of them's fine, but one of them is going to see a much better and quicker return than the other. And, you know, either one is totally fine though. Number one, we have a guy that says, hey, I want nothing to do with this. You know, we're going to pay you each month, you know, and then we'll do a review with you when needed. We'll ask you questions. And those guys, you know, again, they're fine. We talk to them when we do, you know, and if we don't talk to them, we'll be doing a quarterly review with them. But we send analytics each and every month so that they can actually see the progress that's being made as far as the traffic that's generated to their website, you know, how much exposure we got through engagements and whatnot. And those analytics are guaranteed to us through the partners that we're paying to provide those solutions to our home inspector. Then we have the second guy. Okay, that's more hands-on, and this is the guy that Michaela's talking about. There's a level of authenticity that only you can provide. No one's going to be able to provide that, especially new guys starting out.
That sums up exactly what I was trying to say earlier. That's the perfect.
Right, especially the new guys that are starting out. I would say, you know, a lot of those guys look past brand, you know, and they are the brand as of now. In our opinion, they are the brand. And so because they're the brand, you know, what's going to make you stand out? You know, you say it too a lot, Ben. I watch your podcast. Don't be a commodity. You know, I use that when I'm talking to my guys. Don't be a commodity. I love the, geez, I think it was you that said it, but you said that's why, and forgive me if it wasn't, Ben, but I think you said something like, that's why we buy toilet paper with angels and teddy bears on the logo. Was that you?
No, no.
Wasn't you?
No.
Okay.
I'd love to know
that,
who said that, because that's a good
yeah,
one.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I could have sworn, but yeah. And so I'll tell guys, unfortunately, not even unfortunately, get uncomfortable, right? Take some videos. It's like a muscle that you've never worked out before, but once you do, right, you're starting to see gains. And once you see gains, then it's addictive. And here's the great news about this. Most of your competition is not doing it. And that should excite you, right? Because when you're putting yourself somewhere where your competition isn't, right? I have news for you. All your customers are on social media, okay? The ones that aren't, I would say, that are either senior citizens or low income, right? And that's the same statistic that we pulled from NAR, National Associations of Realtors, when we were talking, in 2006 about everything switching to the internet. If you're not doing that, you're targeting low income and senior citizens, right? And I haven't, we're talking business here, and that's obviously not who we're trying to target. So going forward, when we're getting guys started, good content, really easy. Take a picture. Here's my best piece of advice. And you don't have to do that with us. You should just do this right now, starting off.
Point blank.
When you do an inspection, okay, take a picture of that home, okay? Post it and tag the listing agent, tag the buyer's agent. Really, really simple thing to do, okay? By doing this, you're giving a perk of doing business with you to that real estate agent that they're probably not getting from their current inspector. Now, a good six-figure earning, real estate agent, and I know this from experience, has a marketing budget. And that marketing budget is responsible for X amount of people each month, or exposure, either coming to the website or whatever their logistics equation may be. In the beginning, it'll be kind of like a nice gesture, right? If you don't have any followers or whatnot, but the interest is still there, right? So when you take a picture and you post it and you tag the listing agent, the buyer's agent, regardless of who you've talked to, you're putting them in front of more people that are in the community. Now, the authority and the power of this comes from, right, practicing and getting followers and being active, whether that's 20 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, it all adds up at the end, because again, we're talking about building a business, a career, whatever it may be. So it all adds up. That would be my biggest recommendation. And again, you don't have to work with us to do that. You could be doing that with anybody, or you can hire your own person or do it yourself, but that would be something I would highly recommend doing.
Yeah.
So when I post something, who am I talking to? Am I talking to other inspectors showing off like my talents to other inspectors, or am I talking to home buyers, home sellers, real estate agents, or am I talking to just like everybody?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I want to answer this one, because
okay,
actually,
yeah, go get it.
I'm sure you have more to add, but okay. So this is okay. I got excited because this is another conversation that I have all the time with clients. 90% of the time, the homeowner is who you're aiming at. The majority of the time when you're talking about home inspectors. But I do every once in a while get a home inspector. Generally, I would say these are probably newer inspectors that are looking for like a quicker growth, I guess. They're like, okay, I need to get like a basis started. And those are the people that are like, okay, I need to talk to realtors. That's like, realtors are my outlet to getting a whole bunch of clients. But the majority of the time, you're looking at homeowners. So when you're talking to homeowners, really, you need to focus. There needs to be promotion in there. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't advertise who you are, but there is so much value in using social media to promote education, because that's what's really going to get your homeowners' attention, especially if you're talking about like new homeowners. If you're posting on your Facebook page information about, okay, literal videos of things that you found that are weird or just straight up done wrong in a home that a brand new homeowner is not going to know to look out for, you post videos like that, with the language of, I'm talking to somebody that doesn't understand this, that doesn't understand homes quite yet, that's going to get you engagement. That's going to get the attention of experienced homeowners and new ones alike. So I really recommend using the language and verbalizing as if you're educating new homeowners. So that was my little rant. Daniel, what did you want to say?
Yeah, there was a good question here. I was trying to type an answer to.
Yeah, why don't we just go over the questions? Everybody, I know there's a lot of people attending. If you have a question, use the Q&A feature.
Yeah.
But do you want to, Daniel, do you want to?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a good question. When sharing real estate listings in a social media post, is there any information I would be cautious about sharing? Well, I wouldn't go into prudent information. You know, again, I want to be careful answering this because I'm not the home inspector and I'm not the real estate agent. And I'm, you know, not the home buyer at the time. I usually recommend just a picture of the home, right? Nice, good, detailed. And keep in mind, especially with Google, and I'm going to touch on this here in a second, when doing it like a Google My Business post, which is now Google Profile.
I forgot about that change. I'm sorry. I've said Google My Business like 4 times.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's a new one. It's silly, but it's a new one. So that's Google for you, always trying to change things. I make sure that the picture's crystal clear. Okay, let's just real quick. That's something that we should have mentioned. Crystal clear pictures do well. Okay, there's an algorithm that actually will give you a bad trustworthy credit rating. I'll touch on here in a second. But so with a picture, just what I would recommend, stepping back, taking a picture and just saying, hey, another beautiful home inspected from, you know, with the listing agent's name, the buyer's agent's name. You know, I would go as far as sending a request to them. What the feedback that we get from our inspectors is that that's one of the quickest ways to get other real estate agents to follow you. Now you just created a situation where you have the most friendly, inviting follow-up that you've ever had, right? Because every single time we post something for you, or you post something, or someone else posts something for you, that shows up on their feed. So that kind of connects that one question that Ben had about who am I, you know, who am I talking to? Well, a lot of it depends on who's following you, right? If no one's following you, and this is always a surprise sometimes to a lot of inspectors, they say, hey, I post, nothing happens. Okay, well, let's take a look. And we love doing this, rolling up our sleeves and taking a look, because at the end of the day, this is what we're passionate about. Then we see that this person has the same 16 followers that they had, you know, and it's their friends and family. Well, yeah, you're posting to the same 16 people. And like, oh, okay, well, how do I get in front, you know, of these people? And that's where, you know, you're going to have to take the time to educate yourself to see how, you know. Ben could have a whole new podcast about how to do that. You know, there's so much, you know, but again, that was a really good question. You know, I would say just, you know, use your best judgment.
Yeah. Don't put anything confidential. I wouldn't even put the house number.
Don't put your price.
Yeah. So what is the goal of Inspector Media? What do you help me with? Is it about, you mentioned followers. Is it about something specific like that? Like I want to double the number of followers on my Instagram channel in 1 month, or is it the number of views? You talked a little bit about analytics. What is the ultimate goal that I want?
Yeah, man, great. You're just on point. So the goal for us, number one, is traffic. Number one is traffic, okay? Because this is where we get into expectations, okay? Expectations, if having the wrong expectations, no matter what you're doing, whether it's branding, right? What is your expectation for branding? What is it for promotion? What is it for advertising? What is it for marketing? These are all different topics that are all somewhat the same thing that do and provide a different result. So for us, our biggest goal is building that branding, your brand. Right. Yeah. And that's super hard for guys coming into this industry. You know, you could be the best home inspector, you know, and really just be genuine about giving a good service to your community. Well, unfortunately, if you don't build that brand, right, you're chasing down today's inspection or tomorrow's inspection. Where's that coming from? Brand is something that, you know, gives your community, your customer, who you're working with, you know, that feeling of working with you, right? And so we really focus on brand, which will give you a higher conversion in everything else you do, whether that's, you know, doing Google ads, whether that's face-to-face interactions with, you know, doing presentations. So brand is huge. Now, by doing that, there's things that happen because of that. Number one, right? The traffic that we drive to your website, which we guarantee that we do each and every month, you know, will convert higher. Now that website of yours, right? A one and done kind of thing, in our opinion, right? A website needs to be updated and maintained and host and whatnot, you know, having just a final product and never changing it. I personally have seen guys, you know, especially with Google, how they change and always changing, right? That's something that always needs to be done. Learning your Google Analytics, right? Seeing that, you know, what's the bounce rate? Having that stuff connected, because when you do that, you know, at the end of the day, if you don't fine tune what you have going on the internet, right, you never get that 20% or that 30%. Or in some cases, a lot of like our top inspection companies, 50% of their business comes from the internet, which is mind blowing. And that just goes to show that the majority, right, because 50% is crazy. The majority of their competition has not really adapted to doing this. Therefore, it's kind of making it a lot easier. And we're all doing favors for that top company by not getting this stuff put in place, right? So the number one goal is building your brand, right? Your following, that's not something that we personally go out and do for you. That's something that the inspector needs to be doing, right? Is, you know, busting out his phone saying, hey, I'd like to send you a friend request or whatnot with a real estate agent. And just by doing that, they may look at you kind of weird, but you just gave a perk, another perk of doing business with you. You gave them a follower. And trust me, real estate, which we all know, is a very competitive thing. And there's someone in that agent's office that has more followers than they do, right? So they're going to say, yeah, sure. Well, the rule of good thumb, of good community engagement, especially with a local business, is as many people following you, you should be following them, right? That's good community engagement. So there's a lot of other, you know, I mean, you know, good quality content, you know, is huge, because we believe in giving value to the customer, you know, at free, right? That also builds the brand as well. So
I'd say, you know, I'm impressed by Inspector Media. You have packages. I think it's like a silver package, and it's like like a lot of posts, 5 posts a week or something on every channel, which is like amazing, because personally, me, like, I don't have that type of consistency. And I think
That's the
you
perfect
give
word.
that to inspectors who just
Yep.
don't have the time to, like, we get all excited in the beginning, like the first couple of weeks of posting is really great. But after the long haul, after that excitement, there's a long haul, like social media conversations. It's like that marathon, right? That long conversation that you want online. And you provide that. I can see that those packages. Do you want to talk about certain packages or certain services or other things that I don't know about?
yeah, so we have a number. So we actually we have a couple different things. So we actually just, and it's not even on our website. So for the last few years, Eric and I were working on really getting to know Google Ads. You know, we had so many different home inspection companies that were at that point where it's like, okay, I want to start doing Google Ads, right? And it wasn't something that we were really, because again, Google Ads can be a lot to learn. We are at that place we started, you know, and we've been kicking butt on that. So that is something that we do offer. It's not on our website, but if you go to our website and you have questions, we have several places for you just to say, hey, give me a call. As far as packages, we don't actually always offer it to inspectors. We want to make sure that they're ready, you know, because again, coming into this, you know, it's really easy to say, hey, I want this package and I want 10 inspections. Okay, well, let's dial it back and let's really customize what you're looking for versus what we're able to do, and make sure that we have a good start, you know, in what to expect. So with, we do have a silver package that's, you know, it's Facebook, it's Instagram, and it's Twitter. Okay, we have a gold and that's $2.99. We have a gold package that's Google My Business. Got to have Google My Business, whether, and that's something we haven't touched on yet, but Google, they're the king, right? Unfortunately, everything starts on Google. So if anyone's searching for a home inspector, a real estate agent, or just a real estate agent, you know, we want to be in front of them, right? Google allows us to do that through Facebook ads, through Google ads. And to be honest, a good thing that, and I'm kind of getting off track here, but the good thing to do, guys, is go and look at, go to Google, type in home inspectors in your area. Okay. When you do that, you go down to the map. Okay. And you'll see what's called the map pack, right? Which is the 3 businesses they always show. Look at those Google My Business posts or the pages. Okay. And you'll always see the top 3. And this is local SEO. When you're starting to look into doing SEO, this is where you need to start. Okay. Look and see what those guys at the top 3 are doing, because you will always see all 3 of those will have a very, very detailed and well-looking Google My Business page. Google's going to reward you for using their service, and it's a free service. Google's going to reward you, right?
And it's easy. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
difficult to, it's easy.
Right. So keeping that updated on a regular basis is very, very important. But our Google package, or our gold package, is $4.99, and it's Google My Business, it's Facebook, it's LinkedIn, it's Twitter, and it's Instagram. You know, and it's about, Michaela, altogether, what is that, like 86 posts for that month for?
Wow.
Oh gosh, that's math.
Wow.
Yeah, something like that. So in all of our,
Okay,
just
it's
so
5
everyone knows-
posts per week to, okay. Instagram and Google My Business get a little bit less posts per week because those can more quickly get spammy. So it's 5 posts per week to Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and then 2 posts per week to Instagram and Google My Business. So whatever that maths out to.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And yeah, so we take those analytics, and those analytics, they give you, you know, knowledge is power, right? Those analytics will help you kind of mold and get everything that you need in check. One thing I will say about engagement, right? Engagement is something, because I actually had someone just message us about engagement and say, hey, you know, what's going on? Like, why are people not engaging? What do you have to do? Getting people to engage with content is something that, again, there's a level of authenticity, because again, a lot of what we're posting on your behalf is educational, brand building, and relationship building piece, right? So just because someone doesn't, you know, comment on each piece of content doesn't mean that you're not gaining what we're looking for. And the term is called authority, right? The more authority you have, the higher you organically rank on Google. Google wants to know who's doing what, because they are the, you know, that's how Google is who they are, because they're the most, you know, they offer the most relevant content to the consumer, right? So it's really important for them to understand that. So Google and Facebook actually do what's called a data swap, right? Where Google says, hey, Facebook, we want to know all this information. And Facebook says, well, we want to know who's searching for what, so that we can sell target marketing. Make no mistake, and I cannot stress this enough. Okay, a home inspection company is offering a service to the community. You must reach the community, right? Going after especially with gas prices today, going after filling up your tank and just chasing down real estate agents. You know, that face-to-face interaction is great. It's what we want. And I'm telling you not to do it. I would challenge that there's a smarter way in today's world to reach the community. Because again, if we're just going after real estate agents, right, there is a bigger percentage of people that we can get in front of, you know, a lot quicker, right? A lot quicker. And the best place to meet a real estate agent, in my opinion, is on an inspection, right? It's the best time to show what you're doing, your reporting software, how well you are to work with. You're not gonna, make a mountain out of a molehill or blow up a deal or whatever, whatever the situation may be. So again, reaching, because we're going after, millennials, no matter what. We're going after millennials because millennials are the ones that are dominating the home buying process. They're the ones that are also selling their first home. And they're also the ones that are going to be in the next 5 to 10 years dominating the real estate game if they're not already, right? So who are we really trying to attract? Are we trying to attract someone that isn't doing these things? Because again, if so, we're going after the same type of people that aren't tech savvy or whatnot. And unfortunately, their career is going to be ending soon, right? As the younger generation is coming into it. So I would just challenge, even though social media may be a pain in the butt, I don't like it personally. I don't. My wife's on it all the time. It drives me nuts. I don't care what people are eating or what they're dressing their dogs up or what they think about President Trump. I just don't. I don't care, right? But a lot of people do. And this is the way our society communicates. And us as individuals, we don't get to pick and choose what tools are best used for business. Our society as, a whole does that, right? Yeah. And so unfortunately,
that's a good point.
Yeah, this is where it's at. And social media is not going anywhere. And every time Google switches up how they rank businesses, they pull more and more and more from social media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a powerful thing that I find on social media is when a social proof, when someone talks well of you. Do you recommend an inspector grabbing their camera and asking somebody to do a little selfie? Like, oh, Big Ben just did an inspection with me and it was a great experience. Call Big Ben.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Ben. Yeah, I should have said that a long time ago.
Yeah, that's lovely. I would love more of that.
So if I had those videos, I would just give them to you and then you regularly post them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Really easy. We make it, we make it so simple. When you're on a job, I tell guys, and you know what, I haven't heard Michaela say, stop telling guys to do this yet. So, but when guys are on an inspection, I say, hey, if you see something that you think would be great content, don't get too, out of the, again, because again, who are we targeting here? But if you see something that you think would be great content, take a picture of it and send it to us. You could literally just email it. I tell guys they could text it, they could text to me. I usually would just email it. So we try to make it easy as possible. And that doesn't take longer than 30 seconds.
Yep. Another tip that I got from, it was an InterNACHI chapter meeting or something. Another inspector suggested that if you are with an agent, go to their Instagram channel while you're with him or her and follow them.
Yep.
And show them that the inspector is following a real estate agent. It's a nice gesture.
Shout outs. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
So
it immediately builds the pressure for them to follow you back. So
yeah, kind of. I think that's the ultimate goal, to have them follow you. Any last words? Any questions? No more questions, but you can jump in any more questions or any last words, Michaela and Daniel?
I would just say this. If you guys so as of right now, we are in the process of building out kind of like an education or tutorial series for our clients. It's something that we want to give back. So if you have any questions, feel free. You guys could just come by. Just because you have some questions doesn't mean that you have to sign up with us. I actually handle a lot of the BizDevelop forums that comes to us. I would highly recommend starting out with that. There's a good reason why, they were created. There's a high turnover rate in the home inspection industry that first year. And I think it's a good thing to kind of raise your hand and look for some answers. Again, I'm not a home inspector. I have been in this space though for quite some time, and I'm here to help.
Bruce asks, is there any penalty for simultaneously posting the same content?
I actually was just asking them for a little bit of clarification on that, because I want to make sure I answer exactly what they're
asking. Do you mean taking a post from Facebook and putting it to Instagram?
That's what I assume
yeah.
they're asking.
Yeah.
No, there's literally no reason not to do that. It's frankly, you should, because it's easy.
Yep.
So I hope that's what you're okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
Because
there's
there's a setting, there's a setting on Instagram
Mhm.
where you can, anything that goes to Instagram, you could put on Facebook. It's kind of a hack in our system, to be honest, but
Yeah, no, it's super easy. And connecting your Instagram and Facebook, just quick note, if you're like, oh my gosh, how do I do that? One, you need to have an actual business Facebook page. So this is something that I have to, converse with a lot of
not
people.
personal.
There's yes, there is a difference, and it is important that you set up accounts specifically for your business. So for example, with Facebook, you have your personal profile, and then you create your business page on top of that, and then that you can connect to your Instagram. We actually have a blog on our website. It's been there for a while, so it probably has needs to be updated a little bit as far as wording. But there is a blog on our website talking specifically about Instagram and how to get it connected to your Facebook page. So I would encourage you to check that out. Like I said, just because things get updated all the time, that probably the wording needs to be changed a little bit, but the idea is still the same. And also, I put our email in the Q&A under Chad's original, the first question we got today. So if you guys have more questions about anything, or if you want me to dig a little bit more into the things that I've been talking about, like if you're like, I have no idea how to connect Facebook and Instagram, you can shoot us an email at contact@inspectormedia.com. I'd be happy to help you out.
And my number, my personal and work number is on our website. So you can always give me a call anytime. So I will say, I do want to do a shout out to someone on our team, Kay. She's been doing our Google ads and she's been killing it, absolutely killing it. So
that's a super exciting advancement,
yeah,
for us
because
getting really into Google ads.
Yeah, and we took a while before we started making this announcement to do Google ads.
We wanted to do it right.
Right. We're seeing on a monthly basis, we're seeing pretty good conversions, good calls. Just to do a shout out, like Aardvark Home Inspections. I know that I'm able to use him. I didn't ask anyone else. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time, but we haven't even been doing it for a full month yet. He's got 74 clicks and 8 calls. So, and that's with a startup budget. So
cool. That's fantastic. And your website again is very easy to remember, inspectormedia.com. Oh, we got one more. Anonymous says thank you. So thank you, Daniel, Michaela from inspectormedia.com. I really appreciate taking the time out and doing a webinar with us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it, Ben. Appreciate the time.
Thank you. It was lovely to be here.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.